First up is Morgan, and yeah, this is looking good. You definitely added some shape and character to this. I think you could use some more accessories like a hat. I do really like the rolled up sleeves look you've got going, so that worked out well. So yeah, maybe continue with some accessories like a hat and maybe something around the neck or something like that. And but yeah, you've got all the basics right, and it looks pretty good. Also, I think it could definitely use some hair. I think that would go a long way along with the hat. Next up is Stephanie, and yeah, looks good. You've already got the facial stuff in there, and the ears look nice. That's good. Looks like you've already got these controls working, which is great, and got some shape to it, so it looks like that should work pretty well. Um, and you got the belt buckle um, face working, so nice hat. So yeah, I mean, I think this came together well. If you wanted to do more of like the cowboy boots, I think that would help with it. And if you want to try to shape any of the body a little bit more, so it's a little bit, robotic looking now, you might try to get some more um, human form and shape to there, because everything is kind of very straight and cylindrical right now. Um, but overall, it's looking good. And next up is Jasmine, and yeah, really good work getting the kind of the human form in there. I think that looks really good. Shape to the torso and the legs is really nice, and you can see a little bit of shape to the arms as well. If I go to lighting, two-sided lighting, that'll solve that problem. But I also should be able to select these NURB surfaces and go to Edit NURBs, Reverse Surface Direction, and that'll solve that as well. So for the polygon hands, similarly, you would do under polygons, normals, reverse, and that solves the same problem. So I would get those normals fixed. And yeah, good shapes. I think it'd be good to get some accessories going. You described some circle you had trouble with. Not sure what you were talking about, but if you did want to do a hoof, I probably start out with like a polygon cylinder. Let me turn off the interactive creation. Okay, polygon cylinder, and you know, you should look at some reference. I'm not going to do that right now, just in the interests of time, but definitely add some subdivisions to height. And I think the main thing with the, just going to select this one, shift double click there to select those. And Maya just crashed while I was trying to show the cylinder thing, so let's just continue from here. Something like that. And I think the main thing with the hoof is that sort of split. Actually, let's do Control F9 to convert that to vertices. That selection. And just move those in. And then there's a great tool to help. Actually, I might. Oops, let's just deselect those. And I might pull these towards each other a little bit. Oh, let's turn off. I have symmetry turned on. I'm just holding down W and then clicking to get those menus. Um, um, there's a really nice tool to get some more shape to these deformers. So if I go in animation, create deformers, nonlinear, and I really like flare. And it gives you these controls over here. So you have start flare and end flare. And so I can use that to kind of give this some more shape. And maybe in this curve works nice too. It kind of rounds. If I hold down control, I have a little more control. You could make it like concave like that, or convex, depending on what you think it should be. Maybe this top could be, you know, more narrow like that. And you can see how it starts to get sort of an interesting hoof-like shape. I don't, does it join together at the top? I don't know. And then when you're done, you can do edit, delete by type, history. And I might add some, like if I shift right mouse click, multi-cut tool, hold down control, I can add another loop there. And I might add kind of sort of a couple holding loops. Get a little closer here, just to keep that crease there. And then yeah, maybe one more here, because then that gives me the option to select this one around that bottom edge, and then shift right mouse click, slide edge tool, and then middle mouse drag. Oh, hey, it didn't select all the way around. Bummer. Let's get the rest of that. Okay, shift right mouse click, slide edge tool, and hopefully it'll let me, yeah, slide that and hold down control just to get a little bit more. I don't know why it's just jumping so much there like that. I'm not real happy about that. It like kind of pops. Hmm. Let's see what happens if I don't pick the whole thing and just slide those. It's still sort of popping. Anyways, I was just trying to round out that bottom edge a little bit. The other thing we could try, I'm just undoing back. Let me take out this edge. Shift right mouse click, delete edge. We could try bevel, but I'm not real confident it's going to do a great job. Shift right mouse click. Is there a bevel in here? Bevel tool. Oh yeah, that's not so bad. Let's see what it'll do for us here. Can we make this any bigger? Yeah, but that's a little bigger. Add another segment or so. Anyways, so you get a little bit of that roundness at the bottom. So you know, that's just gives you. It's good to use reference. The other thing I could do is grab a lattice, create deformers lattice, and I think I should sort of straighten out the back. So I'm going to grab the lattice points on the top, and move these back, and move these back, and move these a little bit back. You know, something like that. Anyways, it needs more shaping, but use some reference, and that gives you an idea of how you might make a hoof. Next up is tests. I've opened this up in my 2018 because I got errors in 2015. So yeah, it looks like you've got the basics there. I think what I'd like to see is add some accessories, add some individuality to the character. This is kind of the real default look, but be good to add some personality and character to it, so it's not just sort of the default um, model. This is Jonathan and his panda, and yeah, you got a start to this, which is good. You know, right now it's sort of just a bunch of spheres that have been scaled into position, and I think, you know, really look at some reference to try to get those shapes to be more panda-like. I think you've got a ways to go on this to, you know, make it look like a panda. So it's a start, which is good, but keep going. And I would just go ahead and use the, you know, polygon hands you can import for that. And but yeah, kind of keep working on the overall, just sort of the silhouette, if you will, of the character to kind of make it feel like a panda. Like for example, the legs look sort of very skinny to me. I might go kind of thicker on those and making the feet a little more paw-like. And then obviously, you know, any and all modeling you're doing on the head. So it's a start, but I think you've got a ways to go on this one. This is Rand. Yeah, good job on this. This one's got a lot of character to it. I like the kind of big belly and shape you've done to it. The boots turned out well. You've done stuff to the face as well. He's got this sort of unusual pointy hat, which is kind of fun. He's got the gun accessory and the holsters, so yeah, it looks like you've done pretty well with that. You could add something like a belt buckle and maybe a star, those kinds of additional accessories to take a little further. Looks like something got a little gummed up on your boots, so you might want to work with the shapes and clean this area up a little bit. But other than that, that's looking all right.